Let's move on to afternoon action. 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Steelers 3-2, 1-1 on the road at the LA Rams 3-3, 1-2 at home. I cannot wait for this football game. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, with the Steelers coming in off their bye week and everybody loving the Rams. We had the great situation where we were on the Eagles against the Rams, where everybody was on the Rams. Everybody keeps making money off the Rams, and I want Pittsburgh here. I also want the under, so I was surprised, perplexed that this went to the over. Opened up at 42.5, climbed to 43.5. The other books have 44s, so that gave me pause. Sky Dragon with the exact same spots that I want here as well. That surprised me, and it's not that I don't want it now. I just want to see how high it goes at this point. The spread is sitting at 3. It opened up at 3.5 and quickly went to 3. So we have a half-point move towards the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off of the bye. Let's get into the cash flow for this one. 51% of the ticket, 79% of the cash is on the Rams. Yeah, that concerns me, but why did it go from 3.5 to 3? And then on a total perspective, you have 67% of the tickets and 74% of cash on the over. That also concerns me, but it hasn't been hurting unders when it moves to the over. Beating the line moves, having the lines go against you has been quite successful with totals this year. Steelers coming off their bye week, their last season 17-10 win at home over the Ravens. They won somehow, despite gaining 88 yards in the first half. Another game where Najee Harris did nothing, 37 yards on 14 carries. The offense had 201 yards in the second half, but 80 came on that game-winning drive. They're 3-2 despite this woeful offense. Pickett has more interceptions than touchdowns now in his career. His career quarterback rating is 77.3. All he talks about is that winning is most important, and he is 10-7 and 17 career starts. TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith have been unbelievable. Watt has 8 sacks. That's ahead of the 2021 pace, I should say. I was going to say the 22.5 record that he's got when he won Defensive Player of the Year. The Steelers have also won their last 4 games as road underdogs. I want them outright. And I want them here because everybody wants the Rams and loves the Rams. And the Rams are coming off that 26-9 victory at home over Arizona. Stafford 15-24 for 226 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp caught 7 for 148. Puka Nacua caught just 4 for 26, but the reviews and the ratings as a blocker were phenomenal. I mean, he's just a complete package. Puka Nacua, 50 catches for 598 yards, still the most by any player in the first 6 games of a Super Bowl era. Kyron Williams ran 20 times for 158 yards. They ran the ball down the Cardinals' throat in the second half, and Williams responded. He had 58 carries over his last 3 games. The issue is that he has an ankle sprain, and backup Ronnie Rivers has a grade 3 PCL sprain.
Yeah.
So I don't know why this line is not moving more. We don't know if Kyron Williams is going to be out this week at this point. He could be. But Rivers is going to be out 4 to 5 weeks. I mean, he's going to be on IR. Maybe he's already been put on IR. So if you take out Rivers and Williams, now, obviously, I want that to be the case because I'm on Pittsburgh. They will have to rely on Zach Evans. So, I mean, he has 4 carries for 10 yards in the one game he's played. They have Royce Freeman on the practice squad, whom they could call up. They were just 4 of 12 on third down and 2 of 5 in the red zone. The defense completely shut down the Cardinals, but, Joshua Dobbs and O'Connor. I mean, that's what the Cardinals are. They finished with 2 sacks, 9 quarterback hits. They held the Cardinals to 0-3 in the red zone. They ranked 9th in the league, holding opponents to touchdowns just 47.37% of the time. And Kobe Turner made his first career start in place of the injured Bobby Brown at nose tackle, and he looked pretty good. The Rams have not covered the spread in their last 8 games at SoFi following a victory. And, I want the Steelers here off of the bye. I think that the move to the over, is if the running backs are out, then it's going to be an all passing game for the Rams. Maybe that's one explanation for it. But I like the Steelers here, and I like the under. Take it away for us here, Mikey. Steelers, Rams at SoFi.
A couple of key guys coming back, too. I think Freiermuth's scheduled to come back this week. Deontay Johnson's supposed to be coming back this week for the Steelers as well. So you guys know when the Stars come back, I tend to fade those teams, but this is a tricky game for me. We've got, you mentioned the SoFi factor. A couple other numbers that I looked at here. First of all, teams that come off a bye, You would think the extra rest does them well. That's not the case. They're actually 10-23 straight up coming off that bye, and 8-25 to the under. So what they're doing is they're playing a defensive game, and it takes them a while to get back into a rhythm. Pittsburgh in a situation here, Mike Tomlin, after a big win, and a big win defined as either a divisional opponent or a game where they were a big underdog, is 5-11 against the spread. So what that tells me is this isn't a rah-rah game for Tomlin. He used his rah-rah game against Baltimore. Now he's going under the bye week. He's going to get his defense right and tight. They're going to try to find a way to play that defensive ball first, and they're going to try to ease these guys, Deontay Johnson and Pat Freiermuth, into that game. What scares me about the Rams side of things is that potential one-dimensional look here when it comes to passing. And Mike Tomlin's smart enough to know that if they don't have a running game and they're signing backups that are coming off the practice squad to be an actual bona fide starter in week 7 of the NFL, that he should be able to shut that down and scheme against that. Forcing, now you got to force this ball in the air. You got Stafford having to air this ball out, and it's a recipe for disaster. So couple that with the fact that the LA Rams, they rank 6th worst in the NFL in terms of second half points per game. They're scoring just 8.1. So a one-dimensional team that, faces that being down potentially at halftime, with the weapons coming back in that are healthy and ready to roll for the Steelers, I think the Steelers in a really good position here, despite what I talked about with that rah-rah situation for Tomlin. The nuts and the bolts of this thing is I stayed off it. I was looking at the under on the teaser as the second leg for that Colts side of things. So I was looking at the Colts and this under 50 on this teaser. What was that Colts number at? Let me just take a peek back at this thing here.
Yeah.
Colts. I can get the Colts at 8.5 in the teaser, and then I can get the under 50 for this Rams game. I'm going to do that. I'm going to lock that in. So it's going to be the Colts plus 8.5 and the under 50 in the Rams Pittsburgh game. That's going to be my teaser.
I like it. I don't think that we get higher than this number. I'm going to bet this this evening. I'm going to take both the Steelers and the under. I'm going to move on it tonight. Mike M's on the Colts plus 8.5 and the under 50 for his teaser. Let's roll on.